So soldiers evacuate Oba of Lagos because a lot of youths went in to actually loot the palace. They went in and they took a lot of valuable things and basically chased everyone almost out of the building. And of course, the security agents came, took the Oba of Lagos in a car. I don't know how they whisked him away, but they did whisk him away. Soldiers evacuate Oba of Lagos as angry youth vandalized the palace. Mr. Akiolu, a retired senior police officer, is a staunch supporter of the ruling APC. Oba of Lagos, Rilwanu Akiolu, a team of armed soldiers on Wednesday morning rescued the Oba of Lagos. Rilwanu Akiolu from angry protesting youth who reportedly invaded the palace and attempted to burn it down. Confirming the development to Premium Times, the personal assistant to the monarch, Deoye Olumegbon, said a team of soldiers in about 5 vehicles had responded to a distress call and whisked Mr. Akiolu away. Kabiesi is safe. Soldiers came to rescue him, but thugs have vandalized and looted the palace. No one is dead, but they carted away valuable properties, which is not important right now. Mr. Olugbemo, a prince from the Olugbemo royal family, told a reporter on the phone. Other witnesses, including a worker at a nearby government hospital who craved anonymity, confirmed to Premium Times how rampaging youths had besieged the palace after successfully burning down the Ebute Ero police post. The police post, which is located in Idumota, has the palace as part of its jurisdiction. According to Mr. Olumegbon, the divisional police officer at the police post, who was identified simply as Shino, reportedly suffered an injury during the crisis. He, however, said the palace was not set ablaze as reported in some media. Another resident of the palace, identified simply as TJ, told a reporter that as of 12 noon, the police officers at the Area A Command at Lion Building, Lagos Island, are repelling attacks from hoodlums who are currently attempting to set it ablaze. Mr. Akiolu, a retired senior police officer, is a staunch supporter of the APC. In 2015, he threatened to harm non-Yoruba speaking residents of the city if they failed to vote for the party's candidate, Akinwumi Ambode, during the governorship election. Meanwhile, the house of the mother of the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was also razed on Wednesday morning. The house is located on Akerele Street in Surulere. One of the governor's aides, who confirmed this to a reporter on the phone, pleaded anonymity, saying he was not authorized to speak on the matter. The source could, however, not confirm whether there was a casualty or not. Several other public buildings, including the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency Response Unit (LRU) facility in Lagos Island, the Lagos State Materials Testing Laboratory and Public Works Corporation, both at Berger, several BRT bus stations, including one at Berger and Onyigo, and the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) building have also been set on fire. And this is what happens when you aggravate the Nigerian people. It's a different thing for you to be peacefully protesting, and the way you retaliate is to shoot people, as in with the type of bullets, which are, if you see the kind of bullets that they used, it was literally like so shocking to see. It's just unarmed protesters, and this is what you're doing. Again, if you aggravate the people of Lagos State, you will see the beast in them. They will come out and they will fight. In fact, you think you are trying to put them down by actually shooting them or having more casualties, but in return, you're actually empowering them to actually fight, because at the end of the day, you retaliating in a violent manner when the protest was about violence just shows where we are as a country. This is too bad. Burning of buildings and the destruction of public properties are not the solution to Nigerian problems. The thing is, of course, it's not logical. Of course, why would you want to burn something down? But at the end of the day, you're not benefiting from these public facilities. These public facilities, they're not, these public goods, you're not benefiting from them. It's not like transportation is good, it's top notch. It's not. There's no free healthcare, there's no free schools. So if you're not benefiting from something and the situation in the country is worse, why not burn it? Violence is the language that they understand. And violence or riots are the voice of the unheard. You haven't heard them. Instead of you to actually try to listen and fix the problem, you start killing them, which was the reason why they were protesting in the first place. So what does that tell you? The person continues and says, there is need for the aggrieved youth to calm down their tension and allow the government to address their grievances. At the end of exactly, you are this person is making a big assumption. You're assuming that the government is rational. You're assuming that these people in government, in position of power, they are rational. They're thinking properly, logically, and following the rule of law, but they're not. Imagine someone saying that there were no casualties, that nobody died, to our faces. If we didn't have the media and we didn't actually watch somebody die on DJ Switch's live, then we would just believe what they say? Absolutely not. When the BRT buses were burned down, it is the people in need of transportation that suffers. At the end of the day, it's not equal in the whole of the country. If we're talking about effective transportation, as in this is a public good that we are all benefiting from, then it's a different thing. It's not like the majority of people there were benefiting from it anyway. It wasn't adequate, good quality. Obviously, the BRT buses, to a large extent, were working fine, but in terms of the efficiency of it, because if the BRT buses were working, then would there be any need for the amount of traffic that goes on? People be using public transport often. Literally. It says this is not the best way to handle a peaceful protest. At the end of the day, it has been hijacked. This person's comment is sort of leaning on the side of the government, and of course, if you're on Twitter and you try that, they will just put your phone number up and people will call you to wish you a good day, if you know what that means. Another person says the Yoruba should rise up and rise up Igbos are destroying their land, and gradually you guys are watching. Yorubas had killed and destroyed their chains come 2023. These are not aggrieved youths anymore. They are political thugs targeting those they perceived as blocking them from taking over. Of course, they are hijacking it and they're trying to pin it on the people. But the thing is, they can't, because this has gotten international. This is international news. So they literally cannot say anything, because everybody knows, the world is watching. Hillary Clinton can say something, a lot of political leaders have said something, a lot of celebrities like Rihanna and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, which was she was kind of bullied to say something, but there's awareness of it. So again, you might say violence is not the answer, and of course they're trying to pin down and make the peaceful protesters look guilty. Of course, it's not the time to do it, but the thing is, you've aggravated the youth. For every action, there's a reaction. That's how it works. This is the beginning. Since they don't want restructuring in Nigeria, just wait and see. At the end of the day, there's really no hope for the country. Let everybody go their separate ways. That's what I personally believe. Go our separate ways. I don't know. We can be cordial, but there's really no hope for the country. Because at the end of the day, the powers that have been there in the 70s and 80s are still there. So technically, they're trying to make us believe that they are switching into different types of governments, in terms of, like, okay, for example, like, they're making us believe that the government is actually changing. They're different people, whereas it's actually a few elite people who are choosing who they want there, and the elites have been there in government for like 30 years or even 40 years. If you listen to Fela's music again, it's like he's living in current time, or he was literally prophesying, or making prophecy on what was going to happen. Well, put what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you believe that the life of the Oba of Lagos should have been spared? Do you believe that violence, it was the right way or the best tactic to do? Put what you think, and do not forget to like and subscribe.